I'm Zack Fregoso. I'm 23 years old, and I've been playing bass for about 9 years. And I love playing it.
All right. So the first question I have for you is, what compelled you to get involved with music, and what age did you start playing?
Well, I've been into music almost my whole life. There's some home videos at my house of me like 2 years old dancing to like Jefferson Starship and Black Sabbath and stuff like that. What really compelled me to start playing music was I was about 13 when the first Guitar Hero came out, and me and my buddy got really good at it, and we were like, "Hey, you know, it'd be even cooler if we could actually play these songs for real and actually play guitar and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah." So I got a guitar, I think for my birthday or Christmas, I don't remember. Started playing, and it made my fingers bleed because the strings were so thin, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm not interested in that part." So I ended up thinking about, hey, what about bass? Because the strings are thicker, maybe they won't cut my fingers. And they didn't. They caused blood blisters, which, in my opinion, is way worse. But I stuck with it, and it's been one of my favorite pastimes ever since.
Alrighty. So, other than the pain of learning, how was the learning process actually for you?
The learning process for me, in particular, you got people that go to classes and go and to like get lessons and things like that. But all of my teaching, I think I've only been to maybe one or two lessons. All of my know-how comes from just me learning myself and through YouTube, just going on and playing some of my songs that I had on my iPod, and would just listen and try to play along with them just in my bedroom. And then that just kept going and going further until I started coming up with my own stuff.
Alrighty. So, are you in a band, or have you been involved in any high school bands, college, anything like that?
Oh yeah. Let's see. First off, was just me and buddies just doing a couple jams bands here and there, but nothing like super serious. The first legitimate serious stuff I started to do with playing was in high school, about junior senior year. I joined the jazz band, and it helped me out with a lot of different things, both technically and in the mental mind, with like writing music and coming up with stuff in your head, as well as being able to improv and then sort of read sheet music. I'm no expert or anything, but if someone gave me a piece, I could sort of fudge my way in through it. But yeah, no, it's all just a lot of fun.
Alrighty. So, is music something you see yourself pursuing full time?
I'd like to. I've got kind of a head in the clouds, feet on the ground kind of thing. Uh, I really like playing, and if I was able to have that be my main income, that would be fantastic. But musicians don't really make a ton of money, especially in the genre I'm in, which is in metal. Which also, with that other question, time for my shameless plug. I play bass in Guardian of Troy, as well as a couple different bands throughout the area. My buddy Taylor's Mount Vesuvius Death March. I played bass. There was a band called Azir. There was a band called Divided Sky, which is like a Red Hot Chili Pepper outfit. But my brain wanted to work.
All cool. Take your time.
What was the question exactly again?
Let's see. Is music something you see yourself pursuing full time?
Oh yeah, about the. Nah, I'd love for that to happen, but more than likely, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna have like a constant job and then just kind of doing this deal on the side. But I'm kind of okay with it.
All right. Next question. Who is your biggest influence?
The biggest influence, dude, I've got it's there's like just a whole spectrum of different players that go across all different genres. But the first one that made me want to go bass was Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath, and the main reason is because he played different than anybody else did at that time. I mean, some of the stuff is kind of similar when you get into like the psychedelic realm, but up until that point, you just kind of had people that were just going, and then did different variations of that forever. Geezer to me was one of the first guys, because originally he was a rhythm guitar player, and they were just like, "Hey, play bass," and he was like, "Okay." His whole thing was that he would take what Bill Ward would do on drums, turn them into physical notes, and then dance around whatever Tony Iommi and Ozzy were doing. And it's just a whole lot of fun. Like, you know. And no, Geezer Butler is definitely the very first. There's a bunch of other people out in the metal genre, a lot of people out in the jazz. A lot of people in like classic rock and stuff, but Geezer Butler is like the first one that comes to mind.
Okay, okay. Last question I have for you is, what advice do you have for future musicians?
Good one is just to keep your head in the clouds, but your feet on the ground. Strive for, like, not perfection, but strive to where you hate it and you'll know you'll be there. And the other good one is just always just to practice. Like, practice is a wonderful thing, but don't just practice in different settings. Practice by yourself, practice with friends, practice with other like professional musicians if that's where you're going on with it. But just and then try and go and play and jam with all forms of genres and all walks of life, because it's fun to find out where you fit in the puzzle that is the music.
Okay, okay. So, do you mind playing something for us to end on?
No, it's fine. Let's see.